Welcome to the special retrospective on Apple Valley. I'm Dakota County Commissioner and former Apple Valley Mayor Mary Hamann-Roland. 2020 was a momentous year, unlike any in our past. With the COVID emergency, we were not able to hold our traditional State of the City presentation, and I thought it might be appropriate to do something a little bit different. This is a summary of some of the biggest events that have occurred in Apple Valley over the past 2 decades. My hope is this summary will help demonstrate the intentional forethought by your city, your schools, and your businesses that have helped make Apple Valley strong and resilient during these difficult times. I hope that you will find this informative, yet also a fun trip down memory lane, realizing how far we have come over the past 20 years. So let's begin with 1998. It was a special year. It was the year that I was elected in November of 1998, and the city and the fire department were recognized with the highest rating at that time of an ISO 3, which provides you with great rapid fire response and quality service while lowering your insurance rates. That year, we also opened our very first transit station, which supports the commuter bus lines and provided green transportation alternatives and cost savings for our residents. Well, we come to 1999, and you remember what Prince said. We're going to party like it's 1999, and the Family Aquatics Center opened. It was a great opportunity for families to recreate and enjoy the amenities of Apple Valley. And the Aquatic Center remains a regional draw. It was also a time to celebrate because we were hired our terrific city administrator, Tom Lowell. You know, city government depends on quality staff members doing their work, and Tom has been our city administrator for more than 20 years. In the year 2000, Northwest Airlines Federal Credit Union opened. It was the very first Class A building space in Apple Valley, and I was proud to be the mayor welcoming this wonderful credit union to our community and really changing the skyline of Apple Valley. Also in 2000, the Traffic Safety Advisory Committee was formed. We affectionately call it the TSAC. Moving on to 2001, we completed the first architecturally green municipal center in our region, and in fact, one of the first in the country. It was recognized in the national publication for the National League of Cities and became a standard for future city buildings in sustainable design. We also hired Scott Johnson as our new police chief, and this marked a change in direction of how policing was conducted. There was a large increase in community engagement through crime prevention. The Citizens Academy began, and Night to Unite and Business Watch initiatives were created. In 2002, the state eliminated the aid to Apple Valley and many suburban communities, and this eliminated a dependence on the state of 7.5% of the city's general fund revenue. That same year, the city received a AA3 bond rating, first in a series of steps to improve the city's bond rating, lowering costs to issue bonds. That same year, the Partners in Education opened in our old city hall, one of many collaboratives that would mark Apple Valley in the next 2 decades. We leveraged our resources to bring critical educational services not readily available to our residents before. This has been a part of the tradition of valuing world-class education in Apple Valley, and we were very pleased to be able to have that partnership. And in 2003, we began our planning for the Central Village. This was a critical and transformative direction as our downtown developed its southeast quadrant of the ring route. It created new housing opportunities to make Apple Valley a community for a lifetime and allowed multiple generations to live here. This was an important step in creating a walkable community and mixed-use development. We also that year began planning for the bus rapid transit. This was a different type of service from the express community that we began earlier years, and it began a station-to-station service. which created transportation connections to fill employers' workforce needs. And now we're in 2004. The development began in the Central Village, and Apple Valley saw the initial development with Enjoy Restaurant and Remax. These pioneers were the beginning of a much bigger chapter for Apple Valley. The High Performance Partnership, which we affectionately called HIP, studied a joint 911 dispatching. The partners involved Dakota County and the cities within the county. In 2005, Pilot Knob Road was reconstructed and expanded. Reconstruction set the stage for developments to come over the next 2 decades. Also that year, we had lots of fun. Kelly Park was dedicated in the Central Village. The city's first park in the downtown area was opened and became the center for the community gathering and events, including music in Kelly Park. 2006, the city installed a fiber network for the city buildings. The city partners with the county and the school, and it became the basis for the Dakota Broadband Board. It also began the Farmers Market, which is at our municipal center. It provided an outlet for our local food growers, increasing our food security, and creating a new regional draw to our downtown Apple Valley at our municipal center. We also received a AA1 bond rating. This is the 3rd rating increase in 7 years. So now we're at 2007, and the Dakota Communication Center opened. This was a culmination of what I shared with you, the HIP process, or the High Performance Partnership. It creates an effective and cost-effective provision for high-quality emergency dispatch services. Kelly Park opened the splash pad. It provided free water feature recreation, meeting a niche for young families, and it helped create Kelly Park as a gathering place for residents of all ages. And I'm proud to say the city was ranked 28th best place to live that year by Money Magazine. This is a national recognition for Apple Valley in its efforts to be a place to live, work, and play for a lifetime. 2008. Boy, that was a tough year. The liquor store number 3 opened. It was the first retail store with a Green Globe certification. It was a continuation of the city's commitment to a sustainable architecture. And the revenues from the store greatly enhanced fund transfers to the general fund, which lowers the tax burden for Apple Valley residents. We also created the Better Energy program. Site visits became a standard for other utilities to encourage adoption of efficiency measures. We also began music in Kelly Park. From the humble beginnings, this was the beginning of a weekly summer gathering in Kelly Park. The concert series was key to maintaining a marketing tool to help Kelly Park become known throughout the community. And then I'm proud to say that Money Magazine ranked us again as the 24th best place to live. In 2009, our senior center opened. What a beautiful space for our seniors to come together to recreate and enjoy each other's company. Another Green Globe certified building, this amenity helped provide recreational services to a growing, aging population segment. That year, also, the transit station expanded. The station supported the express community bus lines while providing green transportation alternatives and cost savings to our residents. It provides critical infrastructure for the BRT services. 2010, McPhail located its school on Cedar Avenue. The physical presence for this renowned performing arts school really was an accomplishment for our community. It builds on the city's reputation for excellence in the arts through our great school district. The city achieved a AAA bond rating. The city reached its highest credit rating provided by Moody's Investor Services. And Money Magazine ranked us again as number 20 in the best places to live. We continue to have national recognition for Apple Valley's efforts to be a place to live, work, play for a lifetime. 2011, we continue to keep rolling. Cedar Avenue corridor began its planning. And you know that Cedar Avenue is the lifeblood artery for visitors and residents coming into Apple Valley. With the BRT, it's important to plan development along the route that will thrive with transit. That year also, the Minnesota Zoo remodeled to LEED standards. The zoo has been an integral part of Apple Valley's identity since the early 70s. The zoo is a tremendous economic engine, as well as a gem of natural resources in our community. The continued investment in the zoo is necessary to keep it a viable attraction, and the zoo embraced sustainable design, remodeling to the LEED standards. That is quite an accomplishment. We also began the planning for the North Creek Greenway. This is an ongoing initiative to create green space linking communities in Dakota County. It creates a more walkable and bikeable community. It links Lebanon Hills, the Minnesota Zoo, Johnny Cake Ridge Athletic Complex, and Cobblestone Lake. It creates new opportunities for recreation and active living. And for those people who like to ride their bike to work, it also is a corridor for transportation. 2012, we continue with development. The new Valleywood Clubhouse opens, was another Green Globe certified building. It improved the golf course asset that had been in Apple Valley since the 1970s and created a multi-use facility for weddings and special events, filling a demand from our residents. In 2012, we also saw the completion of 147th Street and Flagstaff Avenue. It opened up an inaccessible land for development. Businesses recognized the importance of the public infrastructure, constructing and leasing the first of the buildings before the road project was completed. 2013 was a lucky year for our residents in Apple Valley. We began our process of road reconstruction policy that does not require assessments. We provided our residents with a predictable solution to the required maintenance of the city's streets and infrastructure needs. This distinguishes Apple Valley from surrounding communities where residents face large tax assessments to replace aging infrastructure. That year, we also launched the Bus Rapid Transit Service. Bus service provides station-to-station stops, not just express commuting. It creates linkages for businesses to meet diverse workforce needs. And yes, Money Magazine ranked us again. This time, the city was ranked 17th best place to live in America. 2014 was a year of education. Dakota Valley Learning Center opened. ISD 186 has been an incredible asset and attraction for residents in Apple Valley. While most of the traditional schools were built prior to the year 2000, ISD 186 continues to meet the needs for educational services for residents of all ages, as reflected in this building. ISD 186 was awarded a grant from the U.S. Department of Labor and Department of Education to expand STEM curriculum. ISD 186 has been a leader in education for decades. The STEM curriculum helps provide skilled workers to fill workforce needs. Key steps in linking education institutions to our employers. 2015 really set the table for our future. Uponor expanded to the Annex building. Uponor has been a premier industrial employer in Apple Valley since the late 80s. The North American headquarters are located right here in Apple Valley, and they've experienced steady growth over the past 3 decades, expanding their plant many times. This example included acquisition and expansion into an adjoining property. Uponor is a sustainable-minded company with long-term plans in Apple Valley. That year, we also expanded our water treatment plant, upgrading to all the necessary growing demands for our continued development. It positioned the city of Apple Valley to provide secure, clean drinking water for sustainability. And the expansion project included an addition to the existing water treatment facility to serve the ultimate full build-out of the city. a 50% expansion from its previous treatment capacity of 12 million gallons per day to 18 million gallons per day. 2016 was a sweet year. With Abdallah Candy's opening, the investment at 147th Street yields a prominent manufacturer to Apple Valley. Apple Valley truly is open to business. Gabella opened also across from Kelly Park. It was the first of many multifamily facilities opening surrounding the Kelly Park property. In 2017, Wings expanded to Commons 2. Wings became an anchor in the Apple Valley downtown and in the employment in Apple Valley. Wings expanded, reinvesting in an existing office property to create a campus in the downtown. McPhail moved to the Education Building. The presence of fine arts takes a new step with the relocation to the Education Building. McPhail has been a collaborative partner in many community activities. It is a complimentary service to the ISD 196 high-quality arts for our youth. 2017 also saw the achievement of an ISO ranking of 2. The lower the classification number, the higher the level of service. In 2017, only 3.6% of fire departments in the country scored the same or better than the ranking of a 2. And development continues in 2018. The Regency Center was remodeled. Examples of reinvestment taking place in downtown Apple Valley as original commercial buildings are renewed and remodeled to current designs. 2018 also saw the opening of Galante in the Central Village, providing a premier living space within the Central Village. 2019, the 50th anniversary of Apple Valley. The city reached an important milestone, and the Rotary Club donated a beautiful clock tower, which was appropriately placed in the core of the Apple, Kelly Park. McCormick Computer also expanded in 2019, which is a great example of how homegrown businesses have been able to thrive and grow into Apple Valley as a mid-sized manufacturing company. 2020, what a big year that we faced. With COVID crisis, the city truly was challenged with its greatest health crisis in the history of this community. 2020 also saw funding for the Treetop Trail at the Minnesota Zoo. The zoo makes a significant investment in sustainability and marketing by reusing the old monorail steel system and turning it into a unique visitor's experience. Thank you to the legislature for passing the bonding bill so that this Treetop Trail, which will be the longest in the world, will be a reality in Apple Valley, Minnesota. And 2020 also saw the opening of Menards on the former Hanson concrete plant site, a great example of reinvestment in Apple Valley. The former concrete plant was torn down, the concrete structure was ground up for use, and Menards opened a new, beautiful retail store on the former plant site, which is a regional draw. It's been my honor to be your mayor of Apple Valley for 22 years. But I'm not going anywhere. I'm just expanding my service to you. So please reach out to me and come see me in Kelly Park for the 2021 Music in Kelly Park concert series. I'll look for you there.